Elections have consequences, and today we're going to talk about how the 2024 election could have huge consequences for the Second Amendment in Washington, D.C. Now, this isn't just about the presidential election, it's about the House of Representatives and the Senate too. Hi, I'm Ben Sanderson, and you're watching the Minuteman Moment. The Second Amendment is on the ballot this November. If gun owners get to the polls, it's possible that we could win a pro-gun majority in the House and Senate. Plus, if Donald Trump and J.D. Vance win the White House, then gun owners will have a shot at passing more pro-gun legislation and repealing some gun control for the next 4 years. Now, things will never be perfect. That's why GOA is here, to fight with everything we've got to make those opportunities in Washington, D.C. happen. How else do you think we cut ATF funding and eliminated the veteran gun ban during the Harris-Biden administration? If Trump wins the White House, then we'll get more pro-gun judges, and he's promised to repeal Biden's ATF rules.
Under a Trump administration, all of those Biden disasters get ripped up and torn out. My first week, but maybe my first day in office, okay? Maybe my first.
We might get other pro-gun executive orders, and of course, GOA will fight to get pro-gun legislation to his desk for him to sign too. Thanks to you, Gun Owners of America is more influential than ever before. Even President Trump has recognized this.
Hello, gun owners of America. I'm so proud of your work defending our constitutional rights, especially our always under siege Second Amendment. That's what it is. It's an under siege Second Amendment, but we're going to keep it strong. When I'm president, I will always listen to gun owners of America. I want to congratulate all of you because you've really come a long way in a short period of time. You're strong on guns, and that's the way we want it. Right now, I need every single gun owner to make a plan to go and vote. The one thing with gun owners, and I don't know why, maybe they're just have a certain way about them, maybe they're rebellious, but they don't vote. They got to get out and vote. If the gun owners of this country voted just a small percentage of them, we would have a victory like you've never seen. So I ask all of the gun owners to get out. We're going to win the election. We're going to win it for all of us, and I hope that you will be there to help me get it done because we really have to get out. We have to vote. Remember, gun owners don't vote. I don't know why, but this election you have to vote because this is the most important election in the history of our country, November 5th. The most important election. I think it'll be, frankly, the most important day perhaps in the history of our country because our country is really a nation in decline. We're now a nation in decline. And we're not going to take it. We're going to turn it around. We're going to make America great again. I want to thank all of you. Get out and vote, please. God bless you, and God bless the great patriots that are listening and seeing this message. Thank you very much.
But if gun owners don't vote, and the current estimate is up to 10 million of us aren't going to vote in this upcoming election, then we might not win big this November. Then what? If we get Kamala, then that means 4 more years of anti-gun judges, executive orders, and anti-gun lobbyists in the White House Office of Gun Control. More ATF rules. So basically, 4 more years of infringements. In fact, Kamala has said many times that she wouldn't do anything differently from Joe Biden.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Now on to Congress. If we lose both the House and the Senate, you can bet that every kind of gun control bill will reach the president's desk. A disaster. We could lose the House, but not the Senate. GOA has been working with our allies in the House of Representatives to write pro-gun appropriation bills and get some of those passed into law. If we lose the House, we'll lose that key tool as well. Instead, Speaker Hakeem Jeffries will pass gun control bill after gun control bill until a Republican Senate caves and passes them too. Or what if gun owners lose the Senate, but not the House? Well, Senator Chuck Schumer will do the exact same thing, but by abolishing the filibuster, an important tool that Congress can use against the president. Let's take a moment to really dive into that, because the Senate and the filibuster may just be the most important element of our constitutional republic that is on the ballot this November. Losing the filibuster would be devastating for the Second Amendment. You've probably heard about what the filibuster is before, a crazy situation where senators stay up long hours and just talk and talk to stall a bill. Senator Rand Paul is famous for filibustering things like the Patriot Act and many presidential appointments. But that stalling tactic is also a crucial tool in the gun rights fight, because senators can debate and stall an assault weapons ban bill from getting a vote. This is because there is currently a 60-vote requirement to invoke cloture, or put another way, to set aside the filibuster and get to voting on a bill. And most of the time, you don't need to actually stand up for hours and hours like Senator Rand Paul does. The mere threat of a filibuster keeps anti-gunners from putting their bills on the floor only to lose to one senator's long speech. So, the filibuster allows the minority party, or even a single senator, to prevent a gun control bill from being brought up on the floor by taking up as much time as possible and preventing the bill from even being debated. This is how the filibuster has operated since the 1970s, when Congress last revised the rules concerning the filibusters. Since then, the filibuster no longer halts all Senate activity, which has made it safer politically for parties to filibuster specific bills without shutting down the Senate entirely. Speaking of changes, the biggest alteration in recent years was the so-called nuclear option. This refers to a rule passed in 2013 where Senate Democrats voted to nuke the filibuster for all nominations for judges except for the Supreme Court. This meant that tons of anti-gun judges could be confirmed with only a simple majority of 51 votes. Now this snowballed 4 years later into the Senate voting on the nuclear option again, this time with the Senate Republicans removing the exemption against Supreme Court nominees. This time, it worked in our favor, earning us an imperfect but still pro-gun majority on the Supreme Court, who handed down the Bruin and Cargill decisions. But nuking the filibuster for judicial nominations has opened up a huge can of worms for the rest of the Senate's business. If the filibuster is completely killed off, that would open the floodgates of infringements. This would mean that votes on gun control bills could be decided by an evenly split Senate, and the vice president could be the tiebreaker. This would be a disaster if the anti-gun Democrats take back the Senate and Kamala is elected. Just 50 Democrats and Vice President Tim Walz could enact a national gun confiscation law and ban your home defense rifle and magazines. And we know that anti-gun politicians have expressed their desire to pass all sorts of gun bans as soon as they have the votes for it.
Enough for this Congress to finally take action, because there are 206 of us that are already standing in the wings ready to take immediate action to ban assault weapons today.
Now Kamala Harris has said she wants to kill the filibuster. This move is the nuclear option that has moderates in the Senate worried. In fact, Senator Manchin, who has been a big defender of the filibuster in recent years, has refused to endorse Kamala Harris over her promise to end the filibuster to reinstate Roe v. Wade. But here's the biggest issue. Both he and Senator Sinema, both Democrats who have long supported the filibuster, are both retiring this year. This could have crazy implications if the Democrats maintain the Senate and could potentially allow Kamala Harris to end the filibuster with this majority. The consequences of this change would be massive. There's a lot on the line for gun rights in this election, and the filibuster is just one of many important issues that will be decided this November. That's why it's crucial for you to get out to vote and bring your pro-gun friends along with you. Just listen to what the other side is saying.
Hey Kamala HQ, I'm Gwen Walls, and I have been an educator for a really long time, and I'm here with an assignment for you today. It's due on November 5th. Now I'm going to put my teacher classes on because this is really serious, like a final, and there's no late work. I need you to take yourself and 3 friends to the ballot box and make your voice heard. You have to vote. I'm going to repeat that again. You and 3 of your friends have to make your voices heard by voting. If you need more information, just go to iwillvote.com. And remember, no late work.
Now, I'm not going to talk to you like a bunch of elementary students, but I will say, if they're bringing 3 friends, you should bring 5 or more. Now, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with GOA's latest fights for your rights.